It's no secret that the pharmaceutical companies are making billions of dollars every year by keeping us on medications for the rest of our lives. As Americans grow bigger and bigger and sicker, they grow richer and richer. But if there was a way where you could control, reverse, or even prevent these chronic diseases in the first place, would you want to know about it? Hi, I'm Laura Cataract, Master of Science in Human Nutrition and creator of Food Facts Revealed, and this is my premiere video. Now you might be thinking, why would you name a premiere video on Food Facts Revealed the truth about healthcare in the United States? Well, it's simple. Healthcare is largely tied in to our food industry and the food supply, and this is the missing link that very few people are talking to you about, and I'm going to share a lot of it with you today. You see, there is more and more scientific literature coming out every single day that shows the standard American diet is largely responsible for all of the chronic diseases we are seeing today. And as far as our healthcare system goes, we all know now that it is not treating the underlying causes of this disease, but instead we are just treating symptoms of diseases. We are giving pills for symptoms, and then those pills are leading to nutrient deficiencies that cause other conditions that need another pill, and then that pill causes other conditions that need another pill, and it's just pill after pill after pill. Or, as a colleague of mine likes to say, it's just bucket of pills. It doesn't have to be that way. Yes, our healthcare system is failing us. And it's because of the multi-billion-dollar industry that the pharmaceutical companies have built up. They don't want to lose any money. They can't afford to lose any money. They're corporations, and it's their job to make money. And that is their only job. They're really not in the business of healing people. They're in the business of making money. And it's very important to realize that. So like I said before, it's the standard American diet that is largely the underlying factor in all of these chronic diseases. Now, will eating a diet that is different from the standard American diet guarantee you of never getting sick? No, of course not. But let's look at some of the facts. The Center for Disease Control now considers the obesity epidemic in the United States a healthcare crisis. Why? Because it's driving up healthcare costs, it's taxing our resources, and it's creating the chronic disease that we see all around us. No, not everybody who is obese or overweight is going to develop chronic disease, believe it or not, but a vast majority do. And another problem is thin people who are not overweight also can develop diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and other chronic diseases. However, we do see time and time again that when people who are at very low risk of heart disease, diabetes, and other degenerative chronic diseases, when they come over here to the United States and start eating the standard American diet, they start getting more and more susceptible to chronic disease. We see this over and over again worldwide. So let's take a look at the standard American diet. The standard American diet, also known as SAD, and yes, scientific literature refers to it as SAD. Some of the scientists joke around and say appropriately called SAD for short. But seriously, this basically equals chronic disease in the long run for many, many people. No, not everybody, because we all do have unique genetic dispositions. But to just blame it on genetics, we know that is old science, and that is not the answer. It's simply not true. SAD, chronic disease. Chronic disease, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, anxiety and depression, autoimmune disease, degenerative diseases of the bone like osteoporosis, all of these can possibly be prevented or even reversed if we stopped eating the standard American diet. Now, if you stop eating the standard American diet, does that mean you'll never get sick and you're guaranteed to grow old quite gracefully and in great health? No, of course not. Let's be realistic. Aging does take a toll on the body, but it doesn't have to take nearly the toll that we're seeing right now. So let's take a look at exactly what the standard American diet is. Here is a list of the main characteristics of the standard American diet. Number one, it is made primarily from 70 to 90% of processed foods. Ironically enough, when I tell people stop eating processed foods, most of them ask me, what exactly are processed foods? It's extremely high in salt, fat, and sugar. Honestly, the food industry goes through great lengths in figuring out the exact combinations of these three ingredients to drive your brain absolutely berserk. That's right, your pleasure centers and reward centers in the brain are lighting up every time you eat those salty, fatty, sugary foods that you all love, or beverages. It's deficient in micronutrients. Micronutrients are simply the vitamin, minerals, and phytonutrients that you need to keep your body functioning the way it does. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. High in genetically modified ingredients. More and more genetically modified ingredients are getting into the food supply every single day. They are absolutely everywhere. But for now, let's focus on the fact that this diet that we eat day in and day out is deficient in micronutrients. Everybody knows you need vitamins and minerals, and that fruits and vegetables are great for your health. But what exactly do these vitamins and minerals do in the body, and what happens when we start becoming deficient in them? To show you how vitamins and minerals actually function in the body and what they do for your health, I'm going to use this example of the simplified form of the citric acid cycle. This is the major energy pathway in your body. In fact, some of you might be familiar with it. As I said, it's often called the citric acid cycle, or the CAC. Some of you might know it as the Krebs cycle. And then others might know it as the tricarboxylic acid cycle. Try to say that 3 times fast. Either way, it's all the same thing. It's 3 different names for the same metabolic pathway in your body. And this is why vitamins and minerals are so essential to your health. They promote the reactions in all the metabolic pathways in your body. How? Because they act as coenzymes and cofactors. Coenzymes are usually vitamins, cofactors are usually minerals. However, the term is pretty much used interchangeably, okay? So let's just say cofactors for now. So these cofactors, your vitamins and minerals, help the enzymes in your body make all of these reactions happen. Everything has to be happening here at lightning fast speeds, and it's because of vitamins and minerals that it can happen. Yes, you have enzymes required for the specific reaction, but without the vitamin and mineral acting as a cofactor, the reaction is not going to take place. So let's just look at one small part of it rather than try and explain the whole citric acid cycle, because I'm not here to baffle you with biochemistry. I'm here to try to dazzle you with the function of vitamins and minerals and nutrition in your body. So basically, isocitrate is one of the substrates in the cycle. It has to be converted to alpha-ketoglutarate. If it's not, there's going to be a blockage in this pathway and you're not going to be producing adequate amounts of energy. So in order to do that, this is the enzyme required. The enzyme isocitrate dehydrogenase. Now, in order for that to do its job and make alpha-ketoglutarate for you so that you can make energy, it requires vitamin B3, magnesium, and manganese. This is dependent on those vitamins, otherwise it's not going to happen. So as you can see, the energy pathway, if you look at the vitamins, it's largely dependent on the B vitamins. B3 here, B1, B2, B3, B5, B2 here, B3 over here. And the substrate that actually feeds into this originally is a thing called pyruvate. Now, pyruvate also requires B1, B2, B3, B5, and lipoic acid in order to be converted to acetyl-CoA or acetyl-CoA, however you'd like to say it. And then that gets fed into the cycle as citrate. All of these are using enzymes and cofactors. What are cofactors? Vitamins and minerals. What happens when you don't eat enough vitamins and minerals in the diet? These pathways, your metabolism, actually starts to stutter and stall and dysfunction in different ways. In fact, you might be familiar with a very popular product known as 5-Hour Energy. If you notice, like I said, this actual metabolic pathway depends largely on B vitamins. Have you ever looked at the ingredients in 5-Hour Energy? It's just a massive dose of all the B vitamins, and it's going to boost this pathway in your body, and that is how it works, and that is why you have more energy. However, it's important to note that if you have to drink 5-Hour Energy every day, you likely have an issue with B vitamin deficiencies. So you might want to have somebody check that out for you. And again, some people think that vitamin deficiencies in the United States do not exist because food is very abundant. In fact, nutrient deficiencies are very abundant in the United States, and they happen at different levels. Because if this metabolic pathway doesn't function right, it's inevitably going to affect another metabolic pathway, because all of the substrates in here are going to other places to do other things. They're making your hormones, they're making your neurotransmitters, they're making your blood, they're doing everything in your bodies. It's all interconnected. And so what we try to do is identify where the breakdown is in the metabolism and what kinds of foods and nutrients you need to upregulate those pathways once again and restore your health. That's the gist of it. Alcoholics and people who abuse alcohol often can have mental issues, a thing called encephalopathy psychosis syndrome. Why? Because alcohol creates deficiencies in the B1 and B3 vitamins, thiamine and niacin. When this happens, this complex here consists of 3 different enzymes. It's the PDH complex, or the pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. This also, like the alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase complex, depends on B1, B2, B3, B5. Now, alcohol abuse can severely deplete vitamin B1 and B3, and this can lead to like psychosis. So this is an example of how a problem in another area can create a problem in a different area. So in other words, when your pyruvate stops being converted to acetyl-CoA, and then you can't make enough citrate and everything else for your energy, not only are you going to be crazy, you're going to be tired. The bottom line is that it's the vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients that we eat in our diet that dictate how well our body functions. And when our metabolism starts breaking down, our health starts breaking down. Aging does not have to mean getting sick or even getting overweight or obese. Getting away from the standard American diet and eating a diet that consists of whole foods can dramatically decrease your chances of ever experiencing chronic disease. And for those who already have chronic disease, there's a great possibility that changing your diet and using nutritional supplements and other nutrition interventions, including lifestyle changes, can actually help restore your health. For anybody watching who isn't sure what a whole foods diet is, whether a food is a processed food or not a processed food, if you're completely confused by all of the information out on the web, if you're looking for a cure for something, stop. Do not look for a cure on the website. Do not look for a cure in these videos. These videos are for informational purposes only. As everybody tells you, this should not be used to diagnose or treat or cure any disease. Of course, if you have a medical issue, you should be seeing a medical doctor. However, if you want to understand how the standard American diet, your own diet, and your own nutritional needs play into your health, then I promise you I will be giving you a wealth of information about that. And you can definitely help enhance and restore your health with food and nutrition. There's no doubt about it. There's plenty of evidence to show us this. So please subscribe so you'll get a notification when my next video comes out. And I promise you, as I release more and more videos, you'll learn more and more and start seeing the big picture, because it's the big picture that nobody is telling you about. Our healthcare system has drastically failed us, but we don't have to accept that for an answer. The answer is we control our destiny, and we can control it with food and nutrition. While individuals all have different individual needs when it comes to nutrition and dietary recommendations, a great starting point is to start eating whole foods. So until next time, love yourself enough to eat whole foods. Eat real food.